Not sure if the camera's picking it up very well, but the fog this morning is unbelievably thick, which is very unexpected. We only sort of normally get fog like this after rain, and we have not had rain in quite some time. I did try and show you the back sort of cottage garden. It's got all fog in it as well, but it doesn't really come across on camera. So unusual. Well, a proper good morning to you. How crazy was that mist this morning that I showed you? Bizarre. It was just so bizarre when I sort of got up, and I block our curtains, and I just couldn't, you can kind of see a little bit over the top, and it just looked really cloudy, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a really cloudy sort of day today. And when I opened my curtains, it was just thick mist, and it didn't come across on camera, so I didn't include the clips, but even sort of the back cottage garden area was just full of mist. Like that wisteria walkway was just all misty, and then obviously out over the valley here, which is what you saw, was just thick with fog, mist, whatever you'd like to call it. Very interesting at this time of year. Normally we get sort of fog like that when we've had some rain, and then obviously, you know, you've had rain at night time, and then the temperatures are going to be quite warm, and you get that, you know, evaporation of the moisture and things. So I don't know if it's just a sign of humidity and the heat, but anyway, it was very, very magical this morning to sort of wake up in all of that mist. So I hope you enjoyed kind of seeing those clips. It never comes through as nice on camera as what it looks in real person, in, you know, real life. But I hope you enjoyed them all the same. But yeah, so in the kitchen this morning, I've just kind of been popping around and doing a couple of errands. I've got washing in the washing machine, which is almost done. So you may hear that beeping momentarily. But yeah, just having a really lovely, sort of slow, productive day. But very excitingly, last week, I think it was at the end of last week, we did the garden tour, you know, throughout the garden. I sort of gave you all the exciting updates and that. If you didn't watch those videos, I highly recommend that you go and watch those ones from last week, because there is some really incredible things happening in the garden. But in Friday's video, we actually harvested my very first ripe raspberry, and we did that together, and I have actually eaten it. And I just wanted to give you a little update on that. So I did eat it. Obviously, it's just one raspberry, so you know, you really couldn't get the full sort of palate taste of the raspberry. But I will say that they are certainly, I don't know if milder is the right word. I often find that like a European raspberry can almost be a little bit sour or tart. Have like a tartness to it, whereas the one that I had last week certainly wasn't like that. It's a softer sort of a flavor to it, a really nice flavor, but just a softer flavor. So yeah, fingers crossed that as the sort of the raspberry plant matures and we're getting a lot more fruit on it, that those flavors will kind of just continue and hopefully become sweeter and things like that as we go along. It still was very sweet and it was delicious, but just, yeah, obviously I only had the one. But what I wanted to do today is, when we harvested that raspberry, you saw that there was actually a few other berries that just weren't ripe yet on the plant. Well, they have actually ripened, and I think we've got maybe another 2 or 3 ready to pull off the plant. So I thought we would do that together this morning, just before it gets too hot and before I lose them to birds. So I haven't actually put the raspberries in fruit bags. So you'll know that often with my fruits and that, and tomatoes and things, I've got like garden bags or fruit bags that I'll sort of cover fruits with so that it protects them from bugs or birds and things, and then I'm not sort of losing them before I can enjoy them as well. But I didn't do that with the raspberries. So I am keen to get out there this morning and harvest those so that I can enjoy them. The blueberries are also, I've got probably maybe 3 or 4 ripe blueberries on my sunshine blue blueberry bush, but they're ripe in a little bunch of blueberries, and I did actually bag the blueberries because it takes so long to ripen. I'm just a little bit nervous of taking the bag off and pulling off the ripened one, whether that will disturb the other blueberries and they might fall off. I don't know. Let's have a little look when we get down into the orchard and just sort of see how it's looking, and yeah, see how many ripe blueberries we have and whether I kind of risk it and pull off a few of the blueberries. But without further ado, and it looks like I might make it before the washing machine goes off, let's head outside and let's harvest those raspberries. Oh, I'm so excited. Also, very quickly, you may have noticed this very sort of wild and quite simple arrangement of flowers here. I mentioned in last week's video that a few of my cut flowers and just a few of the other blooms in the garden had kind of flopped over a little bit, but they still looked really beautiful, and that I was going to kind of cut them off and just see if I could create some sort of a little, you know, simple kind of arrangement. But this is what I came up with. This is my very first attempt. This is the first sort of little bouquet that I have made from flowers in my own garden. So it's definitely a learning curve for me, and I'm hoping that particularly at this time of year, as I get more blooms and I learn a lot more about the flowers, like which ones make really good cut flowers, my flower arranging skills will improve. But at the moment, I am really happy with just how simple and sort of soft this arrangement is. I've got all of the petite jennies in here. I've got I've forgotten what these are called. I'll pop it on the screen what these are called. It's like hipster range, something like that. I've got a little powder puff perfection in here. I've got a little bit of just, you know, sort of generic greenery. But all of these are pretty much from plants that, as I said, had kind of flopped over and I almost would have just lost, or they were hanging over pathways, that sort of thing. So they needed to come off anyway. But I just think this is really pretty. These white ones are absolutely gorgeous. If the camera will focus, they're almost like a paper consistency, which is really unique. So I think that they will actually dry really well. Anywho, I just thought that added just a really soft, sort of lovely touch into the kitchen with those soft pinks and whites. All right, let's head outside. The roses are really just coming into bloom at the moment. Just before we head down to the orchard, I need to get out here and weed. Before we head down to the orchard, I just wanted to show you this rose, mini rose here. Look at that. Look at all of her blooms. And she has so many more buds all to come through. Cannot believe it. Like all of these, all new buds, all up here, all new. And they're just the sweetest, most petite little tiny flowers. I can actually see this from my room, and it is bringing me so much joy just seeing all of those beautiful blooms. I will say, I did mention, I think I have mentioned this a couple of times. So this is the pumpkin vine. I haven't had a chance since last week to wrap all of this up, but I have been giving it a lot of thought, and we're going into the really, really hot summer months now. And fortunately, unfortunately, I haven't actually had any sort of viable pumpkins on this vine. I've had lots of little pumpkins sort of come up. You can see like I've got, you know, I've had hundreds of these, I think, but the vine just constantly rejects them. Whether it's because I'm not watering it enough, I'm not giving it enough food, it doesn't love the climate, maybe I planted it at the wrong time of year, all sorts of things. I mean, it could be so many different things. You can see this one down here is quite big too. But I have not been successful in getting any pumpkins, which is not a big deal. This was an experiment, as you all know. And I have to say, it has brought me a lot of joy having this structure around the kitchen garden, like up and around this frame. And it was definitely a worthwhile experiment to do. I'd never grown pumpkins before, and it has really made me realize that I actually really enjoy having things growing up here. This is the first, this pumpkin vine's the first time I've ever kind of grown anything up around the framing of the kitchen garden bed. But the pumpkins have sort of just not been successful, and as we're getting into the really hot time of year, they're just requiring a lot of attention, and I just think I could probably put something a bit more productive in that location. This is quite prime real estate in my kitchen garden beds, and I definitely think something else more productive could go there that I could be harvesting. I'm thinking kind of cucumbers, that sort of thing, in that location. The other big thing with the pumpkin that I didn't know before I planted the vine was, and I don't know if this is just something that happens to everyone with pumpkins, let me know in the comments if you've ever grown pumpkins and this happens to you as well, but if I touch the leaves or the vine itself, or it accidentally brushes against me, I break out into quite a rash, quite an itchy, uncomfortable kind of rash. I don't know if it'll come through on camera. If I get really close, I don't know if you can you see there's like almost like a little bit of fur, if you will, on the vine itself. And so the vine itself and all the leaves are kind of covered in that really fine kind of, I can't think of another word for it now except for fur, now that I've said fur, but you know what I mean. It's covered in that really fine kind of little bristles, and the second this touches me, I get quite a rash, and that's been happening the entire time. And so if you've ever seen me handle the pumpkin, you'll have noticed that I'm always wearing gloves. It's because of the rash. The issue I'm having is I almost probably need to be wearing, and I've been trying to wear long sleeves and gloves to try and protect my arms, because as I'm trying to wrap it around, it kind of flicks back and it'll hit sort of, you know, like my upper arm, you know, my forearms and things, and then I just get rashes everywhere if it touches my, basically anywhere it touches, I break out into a rash, and it's a couple of days before it goes down. So I am very careful when I'm handling it, and as I said, I don't know if it's just me that has that reaction. Does everyone, like those little I don't know what they're called, that little sort of furry texture, does that just create a rash on everyone? I'm not sure, but it does make me somewhat reluctant to handle it and manage it, and because it is requiring a lot of care and it is just growing like a weed at the moment, I do think I'm going to take it out. Oh, I know it's probably super controversial and a lot of people will not be happy with that decision, and it's brought me so much joy. Don't regret planting it at all. I've loved it, and I mean, I've just kind of gotten used to handling it, making sure I've got gloves, long sleeves on, that sort of thing, but it is inconvenient to have to, like right now it'd be so easy for me to just grab it and wind it around, but I've got to go in and get changed and get my gloves and all that sort of thing to do it. And as I have said, it's not producing pumpkins and it's occupying the prime real estate. So I do think I am going to take it out, and particularly because as we're coming into this time, the really hot time of year, I think it's just going to burn anyway, and I think it's going to really struggle in the heat and the humidity. From what I've seen on the leaves, it is quite susceptible to powdery mildew, these leaves. So if I go down here, you can already see like this one here. You Can you kind of see that powdery sort of substance on the leaves? There's quite a few that have that on it already, and we haven't even gotten into the high humidity yet. So I do think it's going to struggle in the coming months. So I think I'm going to cut my losses, and I think I'm going to take this out. So anyway, I just wanted to give you my thought process on that, because it is something that I have been thinking about a lot. And yeah, we're just getting to that time of year. I really need to do a good sort of tidy up. The caterpillars have started, like, you know, the kale caterpillars have started. My kale's getting eaten. I just need to do a really, really good clean up in here. Get all my protectant sort of things in, covers. But the other thing I wanted to really quickly show you before we go down and get those raspberries, because that timer that went off is the reminder for my washing, so I need to get inside quickly. But I just wanted to show you really quickly, look how well the Sweet Laguna rose is going. I need to deadhead badly, but the smell, I can smell her from here. She's absolutely gorgeous, and she's producing so many blooms. Oh, I'm so happy. Can you imagine, like in a year's time possibly, because she's growing quite quickly, this whole tower just being covered in those gorgeous pink flowers? I'm hesitant at the moment to prune any of them and bring them inside. Look how ruffly they are. Look at that. Yeah, because there's not too many there and she's still so small, I am hesitant to sort of cut them off and bring them inside. But once she has grown and is kind of covering this whole thing, it's definitely something I will be doing, is kind of cutting all of the roses back and bringing them inside and enjoying them inside as well. But that is looking gorgeous. And I think I said last week, I wasn't really sure if there'd been a mix-up and this was the Cinderella or the Sweet Laguna. But I do think I'm right. I think this is the Sweet Laguna. And I think that this is the Cinderella, because these ones are just starting to open now, but they're also a pale pink colour. So I think I've got the names the right way round. I'm so excited for that to open. That'll be later this week, no doubt. But she's put on so much growth. I think I need to start training it, because like this one here is obviously coming out towards the path. It needs to be going back this way. So I think I need to get like a little stick and try and slowly start to train her back. Anywho, I just wanted to show you those very quick, exciting things. Let's head down and look at those raspberries. Ooh, it is already super warm out here. I do not have my hat, so we will try and be somewhat quick. My cut flowers are looking really nice. They're still going strong. No movement on this, unfortunately. Can you see those beauties? Oh, makes me so happy. Oh, it brings me so much joy. And then just to quickly show you, can you see that blueberry there? That's what I'm talking about. So there's a few now that have turned. But do I just leave them there for another couple of days in the hope that the rest of them will kind of quickly turn? Just so I don't, because if I take the bag off and I pull those off, I'm concerned the others will fall off. I might leave it a couple more days, I think, and let's just see if any more ripen. But these are the beauties we're after today. You can see there's another one at the back there that's just starting to ripen as well. She is doing so good, all this new growth. Probably just need to cut these ones off. Gosh. And look how red they are. Oh, they're so pretty. Like little jewels. And these ones are actually a really good size. And how funny are the shapes? Like they're sort of they're quite a different shape to a traditional sort of European raspberry. Oh, that's so cute. All right, let's just see. Oh, maybe they're not ready yet. You can see here, see how it's really firmly kind of wedged? Oh no, here we go. See, I'm very, very gently just pulling, and see it's coming away. Can you see that? There we go. Look at it. Ooh. They're a really nice size. Look how big that is. They're perfect. Absolutely perfectly formed. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so happy. All right. I'm going to pop the camera down and I'm just going to get the other one. Well, there you have it. The next two raspberries. My goodness, they're a very good size. Oh gosh, okay, sorry. They're a really nice size. They're so vibrant in colour. The camera almost struggles to focus on them. They are the most gorgeous red colour, and they're almost quite, it does actually come across a little bit on camera, but they're quite shiny, like quite sparkly. The little I don't know what you would call those, the little individual little pulps kind of on it. The next two raspberries, so excited. All right, let's head inside because I know that washing machine is calling me. Washing has now been hung out, and I just thought I would give you a little close-up of these out of the sun. So these are Atherton native raspberries. They're native to Australia, and I think that they're so unique. Like, look at their shape. They're sort of like a little squat circular shape, whereas traditional raspberries are a bit more of like a cone shape, like the European raspberries. The reason I'm not growing European raspberries is because I don't get enough chill hours for them. So I'm trialing these native ones. But they're quite a nice size. Like, that is a decent sized raspberry. Anywho, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a close-up so you could kind of, yeah. So I think I left you after we had harvested the raspberries, and I've actually just come to the garden centre. It's a long story, but I've ended up coming to the garden centre, and I just wanted to show you, this is the organic liquid fertiliser that I use for my fruit trees and my vegetables and that. So I've just picked up an extra one of those. I'm just going to have a little potter around and just see what is new. I definitely want to look for some trellising or some sort of structure for my tomatoes. That's kind of the main thing that I'm here for. Having a little walk through there, sort of all the outdoor, they have a lot of the outdoor Christmas stuff here. So you can see they've got all the, yeah, I don't like that paper though. They've got all the outdoor lights here, like all the fairy lights. They've got, I love this, and I think that that is so gorgeous. It's $69 though, so I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Little light up like acrylic dogs. I've got kangaroos, prancing reindeers. Yeah, so definitely the place to come for all your outdoor Christmas needs, because it is almost the season. Just heading out into the garden sort of centre area. All the gorgeous plants. Pardon?
We should have come tomorrow.
Why?
Can I get this stuff?
Oh, I mean, there's a fair amount of stuff already. We have learnt, what Mum was saying was, we have learnt that the garden centre gets all of its new stock on Fridays, and so that's her comment, is that we should have come. Today's Thursday. Hold on, hold yourself, Mum. Come. It doesn't say, it just says hydrangea. Oh.
If it is that one. Because see, look at the flowers. It's not the flowers like her, is it?
The avant-garde.
Yeah.
It doesn't say what type it is, which is not. It does say it's deciduous though, so. Not for you.
No.
Gorgeous blue eyes. They're so pretty. Massive pots. Okay, so we've had some success on the side garden. One of in the little planter where like the little boy is, the little boy's sort of statue planter. The plant in there is the trailing violet, and it's not doing well. It gets too much sun. So I'm thinking of this one here with the little pretty pink flowers, and it's already got a bit of a trail on it, which is nice. It's on sale for $8, and it is a native and it's drought tolerant. So I'm hoping that that might do a little bit better in that position. And then for behind the hydrangea in the other side garden, I'm thinking of trying one of these. I've not planted one before, but hopefully that will give some height to that area and kind of provide that hydrangea, the oriental lace hydrangea, with a little bit of shade. So I'm going to try that. And then these two here we go. I'm thinking, so the avant-garde hydrangeas I had to move. They were getting burnt. So I've moved them to a new bed, and I'm thinking of these to replace them. So far, that is how we've gone. How pretty are the lilies? If I move to the side. Gosh, so gorgeous. So you know, I have these white ones in the cut flower beds, but they also have them in purple. I actually think that's really pretty, like the purple and the white mix as cut flowers. I'm just debating about whether to get a purple one. Yeah, in the cut flower garden. So that, you know, when you cut them, you can do like a mix of like the white and the purple then. They are very pretty. So I've picked up two of the purple for the cut flower garden. I think they'll be really nice mixed with the white. And also picked up a bunch of these. I don't know how you pronounce it correctly, Gaura. But we planted a few of these together a couple of weeks back now. I think we planted the pink one, but they have white and they have pink. So I've got an assortment of those to fill in. I think these are so pretty. Like, look at these flowers. Absolutely gorgeous. Such an elegant flower. I have tried to grow them before though, to no success, unfortunately. But they are so pretty. If I could grow them, I would. And in a surprise twist, all of the lavender that we planted in the orchard is actually doing really well, which is unbelievable. I've never been able to grow lavender before, but it's all doing so well. So let's hope that that streak of success with the lavender continues. But it's a very pretty flower. Gorgeous. But yes, a very spindly kind of plant. These are those petite mini roses. I've got them in a pot near the sun deck. They're so tiny and sweet. And yeah, so that's the variety there. Fun and easy. They're so cute. We're just commenting. So this here is a jasmine, like your normal jasmine climber, but what it is they've kept it just in a pot, How cool is that? It's like really effective. It's almost got a bit of a weeping habit because obviously it's a climber normally, but without providing it with a trellis, it gives it that really nice weeping habit. That's a cool idea. I've just moved into the fruit area, the fruits and vegetables and that. How cute are these? Bumblebees. 1.5. Ooh. I might get one of these to try. That's very cute. Just something, you know, a little bit different. It's nice to have different things. What's down here? Oh, the snacksicums. Mine are all doing so well. I might get one of these. It's quite a different sort of tomato, isn't it? He's already got little baby ones on there. Look. How pretty are these? They're like the little chili plants, but they're like so ornamental with like the purple chilies on them. I think that's so pretty. All of my vegetables are actually doing really well at the moment, but I just like to have a little walk through and sort of see, like, how cool is that? He's a striped cucumber. My cucumbers are actually doing well, so hopefully I'll get some cucumbers soon. It's always just nice to come through and have a little look and see what they've got in, just in case there's something new. New or different. Alright, as always, we've got quite the trolley load of bits and pieces. I did just want to quickly show you these here. How pretty.
They're nice, those ones.
Yeah, they're really nice. So they are for in the cut flowers, the cut flower garden. Apparently they make a really good cut flower, so I think they'll be very pretty in there. But we have a lot of stuff, basically. I'm not going to go through all of it. You will no doubt see it in coming videos when all of this needs to be planted. But yes, we've had a very, very successful time. And we're basically just in the trellis section now, having a look to see what the options are for tomato trellising. What is going to work and what is going to do well, just to kind of give the tomatoes a bit of support, but still allowing like flexibility and like the spacing and all of that. So we're just going to have a little wander in here and just see what our options are. So after a good 20 minutes standing in the plant trainer area, the plant trellises, we're pretty sure we're going to go with these. So we've just got two of the same. And hopefully you can see there. It's like a... So... these end bits, this bit here will go into the ground, and then it has this additional panel which is not coming through on camera, but there's like an additional layer here that will flip up over. Oh, hold on, here we go. So this one here, can you see it's got like this additional layer that will flip up and that you can secure to give you some extra height for the tomatoes. I'm just finding the tomatoes are just very messy at the moment, and they're really struggling with the support. I've had that support for quite a while, so definitely needs something new. And these are like the grip and grow, like they've got like the ridges on the metal, which hopefully will sort of help the tomatoes to hang on to something. So I think we're going to get two of these and hope for the best. It's definitely going to be better than what I currently have. So I'm going to carry those out, and we are going to head out because we have a trolley load of stuff and we do not want to look at anything else while we're here. Mum forgot to bring her trays with her for the plants, so we've just kind of wedged them all into the back of her car. But we've managed to fit everything in. It's all looking so gorgeous. I'm so excited about these. How pretty is that? Wow. I think they're gonna be gorgeous cut flowers. So definitely got my work cut out for me over the next few days, I imagine, trying to get everything in. But I actually think I'm going to end this video here. I think it's been a bit of an eclectic one. It's been a little bit of gardening. We've harvested some raspberries. We've been to the garden centre. We've purchased some amazing things. So I'm going to bid you farewell. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.